This is the process to define your company culture. If you watch this till the end, you'll have the 5 phases and the 12 steps it takes to define your company culture credo, the most important document that defines what it means to be part of your unique company culture. Hi, I'm Rob Friday. I'm the author of 2 books, Talent Optimizer and The Core Value Code. In this video, I'm going to share with you the most important steps that you need to take to define your company culture. When complete, the combination of vision, mission, and core values serves as the defining culture document for an organization. I call this exercise mining your core values. Finding your core values is not an exercise in creativity. It's something that you need to take very seriously and dig for those nuggets of gold with what already exists within your existing company culture. You're looking for a deep dive into your company's cultural DNA. Your core values, they already exist. Your job is to uncover them, articulate what they mean in a meaningful way, and make them part of your operation. If you get this right, your values become the code that your company lives by. You use it to help you hire, lead, praise, reward, and in some cases, part ways. If you get it wrong, you'll have nothing more than empty slogans decorating your walls. Here's my field-tested process that you can use to define your core values in a way that's meaningful, authentic, and valuable. As we get started, I've broken this process down into 5 phases for ease of execution. Phase 1, define. This is where you have your offsite. I call it the Culture Credo workshop. Depending on the size of your company, this process usually takes a half day for most teams, but can take up to a full day. Best conducted offsite away from daily operations. Here's a list of supplies that you're going to need. A whiteboard or a wall space covered in chart paper, markers, whiteboard markers, flip chart markers, lots of post-it notes, and a leadership team ready to be open, honest, humble, and focused. Here's the 12 steps in the Culture Credo workshop. Step 1, start with reviewing the objective of a Culture Credo. Make sure everyone's on the same page. The primary objective of this entire exercise is to create clarity for all stakeholders. This could be for employees, prospective employees, customers, vendors. It doesn't matter. This creates clarity for everyone. So before diving in, it's important to align everyone by sharing the elements of the Culture Credo, starting with the origin story or the founder story. This is just a quick background. It explains how and why the company was founded. Next, we do a quick update with your current business state. What business are you in today? Is there an update to the founder story? Has it changed at all? Next, we're going to cover the vision. This is your aspirational future view of what success looks like. It's going to describe what you ultimately hope to achieve. What's the impact that you're trying to make on the world? Next, we cover mission. This is your fundamental purpose. It defines why your organization exists in the first place, who you serve, and what you do every day to move towards your future state visions. And next we have core values. These are your non-negotiable behavioral principles that define what make your culture unique. These help you identify who stays and who goes as you pursue your future state vision. Once we've defined this, we use the Culture Credo as a document to help us attract and retain a group of high performers pursuing that vision. I often find it's helpful to share some real-world examples of Culture Credos to help the team recognize what they look like and to understand what we're trying to achieve with this exercise. Check the link in the description to find some examples of real Culture Credos that might be helpful for you. Step 2, the founder story. So this is where you get the founder or the founding team or the most senior people in the organization that have been there the longest to tell the story. How is the company founded? Why does it exist in the first place? Where did things come from? If there's a memorable story here, have those original employees tell that story, get it down on paper, make sure it's documented so that when you hire future employees, you can share that origins or founder story. Step 3, the current business. This is a quick update to the founder story. Don't overcomplicate it. Just make sure you update what is the current business that the company is in today, and make sure you clarify that for everyone so we're all on the same page. Step 4. This is where we get into the vision. Your vision is your aspirational picture of future success. What do things look like 10 years out in the future? What do you hope to achieve? What do you want the company to be recognized for? Your vision statement should be aspirational in nature. It doesn't need to be realistic for today. Think 10 years out. What's that future state? What are you looking to achieve if everything went right? That future state is your aspirational future picture of what success looks like. So here's a formula to help you define your vision. We envision a world where, and then you insert your desired impact or future state. Next is the word by, big idea or action that you champion. Try asking these questions. Is it inspiring? Is it ambitious but believable? Is it clear? And is it, most of all, memorable? Here are a few examples for you. Take Tesla, for example, to create the most compelling car company of the 21st century by facilitating the transition to electric vehicles. IKEA, to create a better everyday life for the many people. Or Amazon, to be the Earth's most customer-centric company, where customers can find and secure anything they might want to buy online. All right, next step is step 5, mission. This is your fundamental purpose. It defines why your organization exists in the first place, who you serve, and what you do every day to move towards your future state vision. Your mission needs to be grounded in today as you pursue that future state vision. Try asking yourself and your team, what do we do? Who do we do it for? How do we do it? And why do we do it? Use this formula to help you. Our mission, insert what you do for who you serve. By, insert how you do it. So that, insert, impact that you create. Here's a few examples to make it real for you. Google, to organize the world's information to make it universally accessible and useful. Or Nike, to bring innovation and inspiration to every athlete in the world. Tesla, to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. Step 6, define your core values by discussing what makes your culture unique. So this part's all about where you define your core values. For this step, you're gonna discuss what makes your culture champions unique. What are those key characteristics that define them, that make them different than the people that aren't your culture champions or that didn't work out? So hand out your Post-it notes and ask everyone, what behaviors set our top people apart from others in our space? What make our culture champions stand out? Give specific examples of your top performing colleagues in action. You want to include things like names and the specific thing that they did that you think defines your company culture. You're looking for specifics here. Try thinking about specific people that are either on your team or have been on your team. If you had to clone them or pick up the specific behaviors that you'd want to clone, what are those things that they did or that made them unique that you'd want to emulate? Capture every answer possible on Post-it notes, stick them up on the wall. There's no wrong answers here. Step 7, flip the script and discuss what you won't tolerate. What made the people that didn't work out not right for your culture? Ask questions like, what behaviors break trust here? Think about the last person that didn't work out. What were the things that they did that made them not a fit? What are the sort of things that you'd want to fire people over that you want to make sure that you weed out of your company? Add these to the list, put them up on the wall. Our goal here is to crystallize what are the critical behavioral boundaries, both positive and negative, that your company needs to know about. Step 8, core value suggestions. So this is where you get the team to start jotting down, what do they think your core values actually are? Brainstorm ideas, there's no wrong answers. Get the team to start spitballing. Put lots of things up on the wall and start to look for those common trends. Step 9, now you're ready to actually organize all of your ideas into thematic buckets. Make sure all the Post-it notes are up on the wall. Take a step back as a group and start looking for these themes. How would you cluster the notes together? Are there certain trends that start to show up where you can start to cluster several things into one group and start to organize them into these thematic buckets? Step 10, this is where you're going to summarize your themes into your value drafts. Give each cluster a working value name and a few descriptors. It's often helpful to include several descriptors for added clarity. Step 11, this is where your team votes. Have the leadership team silently vote on what they think the top values actually are. What's most authentic, what's most actionable, what's most differentiated. Your goal here is to narrow the list down to 3 to 7 key core values. Step 12, appoint your Culture Credo owner. Choose one person on the leadership team to own the next steps. This is going to ensure follow through and accountability beyond the offsite. Culture Credo owner is going to rewrite each value in a voice that feels uniquely yours. And that concludes the 12-step Culture Credo definition process. Next, you're ready to implement the review and finalization process. Phase 2, observe. This is your follow-up period. Over the next 30 to 60 days, you're going to actually observe your team in action. You want your leaders to take note. Who are the people that actually live the core values? Actually have them jot down notes, examples, stories of the core values in action. You want your team to be observing their people to see if these core values that we've defined during the workshop actually show up in day-to-day life. After the 30 days, have the team submit their examples. They want to make sure that they name real situations, real examples, real stories of things that happen, along with the employee's name of who lived the core value in action. The owner from phase 1 is going to have to summarize all of the examples into a spreadsheet or Google Doc so that the team can review this and vote on things at what's next, which is the revision meeting. Phase 3, now you're ready to finalize your Culture Credo. Book a separate offsite or dedicated session for your leadership team to finalize the values with evidence. At the finalization meeting, this is where your team is going to have to be real. Do we have real examples, real stories that we can share? If we don't have examples of certain values, then we either need to rework them or eliminate them. You need to be transparent, truthful, and honest. If a value has no stories, you need to eliminate it. Each value should be defined in words that are uniquely yours and supported with several bullet points of what those values actually look like in action. What are the behaviors that exemplify the value in action? Phase 4, pressure test. This is where you actually need to look in the mirror. Does your leadership team live the values? If you, as a leadership team, don't actually live the values, this whole process is going to be hypocritical. So you need to be very honest. And if there are people on the leadership team that don't live the values, you need to make some tough decisions. Maybe they shouldn't be on the leadership team, or maybe you need to be honest about what those values actually are. After you've pressure tested, you're ready for phase 5. This is where we launch. Phase 5, the Culture Credo rollout. So you're going to book a town hall offsite, either in person or virtual. You want to make sure you record this session. You're going to have each of the leaders that are part of that leadership team take turns sharing some of those core values with those specific examples of the people that live the values in action. You're going to tell the story. What was the whole process you went through as a leadership team, start to finish? Starting with the founder story, defining the business update, defining the vision, mission, and how did you go about defining your core values? Sharing these examples with real stories is what's going to make it real for your people. If you'd like more info about how to define your company culture, check out my new book, The Core Value Code, or click the link in the description below.